Episode 1 begins with eerie interior shots of a school during a stormy night, accompanied by the sounds of giggling children, and then we see the top of a noose in a bathroom stall. We cut to a girl waking up in an abandoned classroom, and she pulls out a paper scrap that she stares at very intently, which leads into a flashback.
そうだ、あの時。
At another school during a stormy night, although this one actually has people inside, we hear a female voice telling a story about how one day at an elementary school, after the school day had ended, a female teacher lost her footing and died.
先生は学校のことをまるで我が子のように大事に思ってたみたいなんだけど、不幸なことは続いて、ある日起きた殺人事件をきっかけに廃校が決定しちゃったの。それ以来心を病んでしまった校長先生は、学校が閉鎖された当日に校舎の屋上から身を投げて自殺しちゃったんだって。私たちの今いるこの如月学園はそんな呪われた天神小学校の跡地に立っているのよ。
マジで？
階段で転落死した先生の方はまだ自分が亡くなったことに気がついていないらしくって、こんな雨の日の放課後には真っ暗な校舎の中を今でも歩いてるんだって。そう、このくらいの時間に。
We get some character development when one of the boys, Satoshi, becomes frightened, which earns teasing from the girl from the beginning, named Naomi. Another girl, Mayu, asks storyteller Yumi to continue, but her friend Morishige becomes concerned about how easily she gets scared. Naomi's best friend Seiko agrees with Mayu, and so the story continues.
その先生が現れる時って校舎は必ず停電で真っ暗になるの。そしてコンコンってノックの後にスーッと扉が開くと白い顔が覗いて、まだ残ってるのって。
Yeah, a knock at the door makes the story seem just a little too real, so everyone is immediately put on edge. It ends up being just a prank by their teacher Miss Yui, though unfortunately Satoshi has already found comfort in Naomi.
サトシ、どこにしがみついてんのよ。
I just love Seigo's face in this shot. Suddenly, in walks Satoshi's little sister Yuka, who has come all the way to bring her brother an umbrella, which all the girls react to with just the most generic anime reaction ever. Yoshiki, Satoshi's best friend, points out how much Yuka loves her brother, leading to Seiko teasing Naomi about a rival, which Naomi responds to by squishing her friend's face. Later, Ayumi reveals she wants to do a charm called Sachiko Ever After, which is meant to prolong the friendships of everyone involved, no matter how far apart they are. It turns out that today was Mayu's last day, as she is going to be transferring. After some heartfelt interaction, which is genuinely touching, Ayumi explains how the charm works.
みんなでこの幸子さん人形を囲んで心の中で幸子さんお願いしますって唱えるの。9回唱えてね。間違ってもいいから絶対言い直しちゃダメよ。唱える回数が人数より多かったり少なかったりすると失敗しちゃうらしいからね。手を伸ばして。この幸子さん人形のどこでもいいから掴んで。
掴んだよ。いいわよ。
はい。で、爪を使ってしっかり掴んだらみんなで引っ張ってちぎっちゃってね。せーの、はい。
It seems like they've done it correctly, so they celebrate, even though it's just a charm. And then an earthquake starts. It appears to have calmed down, then the floor gives out beneath them, and they all scream as they fall through. Returning to the present, Naomi finds that she has sprained her ankle, but fortunately, she sees an unconscious Seiko in the room, who does not wake up in the way you'd want your friend to do so in this situation.
どうたのナオミ、もう昼休み？どうたのじゃないわよ。覚えてないの？
Opening the windows proves to be pointless, so they decide to explore the hallways, unaware that they are being followed by a little girl in a red dress. They come to the realization that they are alone, much to Seiko's glee, resulting in her burying her face in Naomi's chest. Quick note before I continue, Seiko is clearly gay for Naomi, who is completely oblivious, as she, along with Ayumi, Miss Yui, and even Yuka, likes Satoshi. They approach a bathroom, and Seiko asks a question that has made me laugh at every version of it.
るやつまた外に出るまで待てないの？普通の軟膏ならあるけど。はい。サンキュー。じゃあちょっと塗ったくってくる。
While waiting, Naomi decides to try the windows again, which does nothing, of course, and then stares into a clock for a bit until a girl appears in the reflection, though when she turns around, it's just Seiko. They find the entrance, and we learn that Seiko takes care of her younger siblings since her mom left when she was younger, so she acts as a sort of housewife. After teasing Naomi about how Satoshi is worried about her, they decide to try the doors, which obviously does nothing, so they decide to head to the infirmary to try to relieve Naomi's ankle. After wrapping Naomi's leg, the two girls lie in bed and talk about their friendship, when Seiko realizes that she has lost her paper scrap from the charm, so she decides to go look for it. Promising to come back so they can look for an exit together, Seiko leaves, but spoiler alert, this is the last scene Naomi and Seiko have together where they're happy and smiling. As Naomi is lying in bed, the lights go out and she suddenly finds herself unable to move or speak. And in the corner of her eye, she can see a pen writing in a journal, blood pouring out of cracks in the walls, and small bloody handprints appearing on the inside of a glass cabinet. A purple mist begins to envelop and enter Naomi's body, suffocating her. Seiko feels her Naomi senses tingling, and then she hears a thud behind her. She turns, and we get our first kill about 18 minutes in, which appears to be the gushing bottom half of a female student. Terrified, Seiko screams, which appears to be enough to give Naomi the strength to break free. Naomi tries to leave the infirmary, but finds the door is latticed in place with many strands of long black hair. After probably giving any hairdresser viewers anxiety, she is finally able to rip off enough hair so that she can escape. Once outside, Naomi mistakes a corpse for Seiko, despite, it looking nothing like her, and then we get a decomposed corpse to add to the count, with an eyeball falling out and maggots crawling out of the mouth. Naomi collapses and throws up, and we see the girl in the red dress from earlier, who Naomi finally notices, and the girl is so happy that blood starts pouring out of her mouth. Seiko finally makes it back to a terrified Naomi, who snaps at her for leaving her alone.
すぐ戻るって言ったじゃない。私殺されかけたんだよ。何がずっと一緒よ。私を一人にしておいて、危険な目に遭わせておいて、よくそんなことが言えるよね。もういい。何よ、いつもヘラヘラして。
They part ways, and as Seiko is walking alone in a hallway, she hears someone calling her. Returning to Naomi, she realizes she has to apologize and sets out to look for Seiko. As she goes up the stairwell to the bathrooms, she finds, I think, 3 bodies, though it's hard to tell since some of them are in pieces. She finds a head with a hole in it, exposing the brain, as well as another body with its intestines spilling out, and a final body slumped over in the landing of the stairwell. Naomi finds the cream that she lent to Seiko on the floor of the hallway, so relieved, she goes into the girl's bathroom. She hears something in one of the stalls and goes to open it. Okay, so get this. Seiko is still alive, though just barely, and instead of immediately trying to save her, Naomi talks to her a little. All efforts end up choking Seiko more, so Naomi realizes she needs to put something under Seiko's feet. She sees a bucket full of maggots, organs, and blood in the corner, and though revolted, she grabs the bucket and empties it out, which I will give her credit for, so she runs back to the stall, only... Sadly, it's too late. We see in horrifying detail that Seiko is dead, and as Naomi grieves, the girl in the red dress watches from the doorway of the bathroom. As we see shots of all of our characters, each looking uneasy, Naomi finally realizes where she is and the episode ends.